Hi, this is GMac for TRC, or the Razor Company, and today it's going to be another video with a razor, which I'd like to clear the name of this razor. I'd like to tell you why this razor is probably, not just one of my favorites, but it is in my top 3, and probably the only GMac or zinc alloy razor head that I have that is in my, top 3 razors, and there's a reason for it. So let's get started straight away with introducing you to it. It's the Muhle R41. As you can see, a lot of people often talk about this being, open comb, but it's not. It's really more like a scalloped, kind of like a slightly wicked scalloped head. Bit of blade overhang here. You can just feel it if you rub your finger, but it's not threatening. It's not like it'll cut you. And, well, it's actually it's an absolutely gorgeous razor. I've used a Yaki Apollo handle, which a friend of mine had suggested because he uses it and loves it. It's essentially brass, if I'm not mistaken, and it's chrome plated. If you look at it, it's a hollow handle, so it gives it a nice balance. It's not too heavy. Like if you put a titanium handle on this, to me it would be a bit of a mismatch. If you put a stainless steel handle, it's a bit heavy, but this is just right. It just feels right. The height, or the length of the handle, the weight. I just love it. So let's get straight down to talking about Muhle. A lot of shavers do have a favorite razor or a favorite company that they start with, and I want to get straight down to a little bit of history about Muhle. It was started by Otto Johannes Muhle in 1945 in Germany. Started with making shaving brushes, and then in 1949, when business was actually starting to get better, the company headquarters burned down. It was a big blow, but Otto Johannes Muhle just continued with his business and never let that get him down. In 1965, Hans-Jürgen Muhle, that's the son, took over from after his father passed away, and he's had his ups and downs. The company, of course, did go through a lot of issues over a period of time. But in 1965, there were just 40 employees, but exports were being done to 36 countries. And that's pretty huge, right? Company changed ownership, and then, post the Berlin Wall coming down, things changed once again. And I think the company brought back a lot of their old employees. They started again. 2006 was the year that they really flourished. And then in 2008, during the economic downturn, that is the point of time when the sons took over, and that was Christian and Andreas Muhle. Since then, of course, Muhle has gone through a couple of changes, and they've done very well. So let's get straight down to the razor itself. Muhle is one of my favorite companies for the simple reason that when I transitioned from cartridge to DE razors, I did use the Leaf Twig, which was a single edge, and then I did use the Rockwell 6C, but it was the R89 that made me fall in love with DE shaving. So one step above the R89 in terms of aggression and efficiency is the Muhle Rocker, and then of course the R41. Many people call it the Beast. Believe me, it's not. This is one of my favorite razors. It's in my, as I said, it's in my rotation. And well, let's talk about the Muhle R41. 2010 was the first design that came out. Very mild razor. 2011, the Beast was introduced, which was aggressive but highly efficient. People complained, said it was a face shredder. And then after that, they brought out the 2013 version, slightly tamed, but still very efficient. It won Design of the Year on a number of shaving forums. And finally, what I have in my hand, this is the most mild. This is the gentlemanly R41. 2019 version, it's when they toned it down a little bit more. I think they just about increased the top cap a little bit to make it a bit more milder and more approachable. I love this razor. Don't fear it. Don't look at videos where people tell you it is a, it's probably a saber or a sword that has to be feared. It isn't. It's just a really nice, efficient razor. So for today's shave, I'm going to be using the Visomet Super Iridium. That's the blade. And for my soap, I've got to thank my friend, my good friend Khalid, for giving me Hag's Creature Lives. It's a stunning soap. It's an absolutely stunning soap. It's supposed to be a woody, aromatic, kind of fragrance, but it's not. This is an entirely vegan soap. There's no animal fat in it. There's no lanolin. And I always believe that tallow soaps will give you a better lather. Soaps like this prove you wrong. So I get a bit of grapefruit, a bit of lemon, kind of citrusy, a bit of ginger, pink pepper, bit of white musk, a touch of jasmine. I think it's a very, and for some reason, pineapple. Pineapple is one of my favorite fruits, and I seem to smell it in everything. I mean, you do have it in, the Mr. Fine, the soap, if I'm not mistaken, that's platinum, and also in the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, they have the Doppelganger Grey, which has that slight pineapple note, which is very kind of similar to Credo Ventus. So let's get down to the shave itself. Hags, that is the soap that we're using today. I'm going in with my Boti brush. I've already lathered up just to show you what the lather looks like. And, that's Hags at work. So just going to wet the face a little bit. Well, I just tried to get, a bit of a different background here today for the shave rather than go in with the usual spot where my wash basin is, which normally has like repair work happening behind it. This is just one magnificent soap. I absolutely love the way that it lathers. I don't know if you like, kind of a pasty lather, but one thing that I've learned is you probably want to try and keep working that lather till you get a nice slick, kind of a paste to it. That's how I like my soaps. Well, one thing I learned about Hags is that Hags is a Greek artisan. They have a couple of bases. The one that I'm using today, which is actually discontinued, I was really happy to get it. Creature Lives. It uses the Osiris base, which is fully vegan. Then you have the Hathor base, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it has tallow in it. So there we go, all lathered up, and let's get straight down to the shave itself. Just gonna clear a little bit. I do hate it when soap gets onto your nostrils. Start thinking that you look like Olaf the Snowman. Just clear the neck area. All right. Let's get straight to the shave itself, and we're going to start with the Muhle R41. You've got to try and normally keep a light touch with this razor. It's very essential. I guess a lot of shavers actually do talk about this being open comb because they believe that it's, kind of leaves lines on your face when shaving like an open comb does. You'll see that a lot of shaving enthusiasts do like to take quick and fast strokes with their razor, and that's all good if that's your kind of thing. Not me. I'm a bit of a slow shaver, and there's a reason for it. Number one, I like to enjoy my shaves. I truly do. The last thing you want to do is probably, come away with too many injuries or whatever. But there's also sometimes that tendency that when you find your shave going along smoothly, and then you want to try and put in a little bit of pressure, I would say, well, avoid that at all costs. You don't need to. Especially with a razor like the R41. And this 2019 version, it's an absolutely approachable razor, if that's the way you want to put it. Absolutely no hassle with it. I also love the way that it sings. I don't know if you can actually hear it, but it sounds a bit like Rod Stewart singing because of the raspy tone. Respect to Sir Rod. I don't know if you're a Rod Stewart fan, but I am. Surprisingly, not with his 80s and 90s stuff, but the stuff that he did with the faces is surreal. It's just outstanding. The stuff that's there that he sang when he was with Jeff Beck. Oh, sorry to deviate, but I love music. And if the R41 sings like Rod Stewart, why not? It's this under the nose area that always does bother me. Not for anything else. I'm always concerned that I'm going to cut myself. So I'm just going to do a quick rinse and be back with you in a minute. So here we are back to pass number 2. And this soap is just, it's fantastic. I just love the lather. I just love that fragrance. It's just brilliant. So let's get down to pass number 2. There's one thing that I've got to mention, that when you're using the R41, keep in mind the fact that the R41 does prefer a more, watery kind of lather. At least for me, that's what works best. But sometimes I do like to lay it on. Sometimes you want to get the thick, pasty lather, worked up. And, whatever makes you happy. So, there are lots of discussions on forums about this particular razor, and it's so much so that people fall in love with the 2019 version that they start looking at trying to acquire the 2013 and the 2011. I don't think that's necessary. I really don't think that's necessary at all. If it's OOP, there's a reason for it, And if you really want that kind of aggression or whatever, go to a Chevette or, try a straight. For me, the R41 is just perfect. I really love this razor. I've said that a couple of times. It just gives you a fantastic shave. Um, I think it's way more efficient than a lot of the big boy razors out there. And surprisingly, um, there are many who like the stainless steel version, which is called the R41 GS. And I also do. It's a great razor, but for some reason, I still favor the GMac version. I still favor the plain zinc alloy version. I find it to be smoother, and maybe that's just me. All right, I think we've lathered up enough. I think there's a bit too much of lather on this one, but should do. I don't know if this happens to you, but I have to ask you, do you sometimes get caught up with the lather, like I did just now? Do you kind of, enjoy the fragrance so much that you decide to just, go with it? And keep lathering? I have a few friends, of course, who use badger brushes, and they love to really take their time with it because it caresses the face. It kind of does well for them. Surprisingly, I've never been a fan of badger. I've always preferred synthetic, and maybe to a certain extent bow brushes. So second pass, here we go. You can still hear that razor sing, and when it does, that's when you know it's doing its job. That's when you know that there's still, a bit of stubble, there to be cleared. So you also want to make sure that when you're, actually going across the grain, try and keep your strokes a bit light. Don't try and scrape your face. Sometimes when a razor is smooth, there's always the temptation to scrape. I would say don't do that. Just go easy. Enjoy your shave. Many people, try out different types of soaps. There's the fragrances, there's different bases. In today's day and age, it's really kind of like a buffet of stuff. There's so much available on the table. And, most artisan soap makers do excel with what they do. They're trying to get it or make it better with each and every new base they come up with. More slick. Oh, that's all clean. Oh, the slickness is... It's not the maximum. It's not like, probably how maybe some of the tallow-based soaps do pack in, but magnificent, really nice. I'm actually using the lens to shave today. I've got no mirror behind me, which I would normally like to have. Just wanted to change things up a little bit. But I have to say this, I have a very close buddy of mine who shaves in the shower without a mirror. He just does it in autopilot. Always have a trouble spot here where, the stubble takes a while to come off. Oh, this razor is just magnificent. Believe me, it's just magnificent. Sorry if I took a bit of too much of time with the video today, but I really wanted to talk about Muhle, a bit on their history. I also wanted to bring in that aspect of, why the R41 is not really as threatening as people make it out to be. All right. Just a quick cleanup, and let me then gauge how the shave went. So just had to go in and do a quick cleanup, rinse my face, and just want to tell you, the slickness on the soap is kind of surreal. It's fantastic. I can still feel it even after rinsing it off. That was a very good shave. Absolutely loved it. Very, very smooth. Yeah, my skin feels good as well, so it's been a good shave. I was going to ask you, so do I look presentable now? Maybe, just a little bit. All right, so very quickly, let's run you through every little thing that we spoke about in today's shave. First up, we want to talk about the razor itself before I can get to anything else. That was our star for today. The Muhle R41. If you can get yourself just the razor head, go ahead and buy it. And if you can get the full razor, even better. But the only reason I'm saying the head is if you're somebody like me who does not like, the smaller handles, then maybe you just want to buy the razor and then experiment with it. If you don't like it, then, try and get a hefty spare handle. There's so many of them available. So that was our star of the show today, the Muhle R41, and it was on a Yaki Apollo handle, which is the razor head is GMac zinc alloy, and of course the handle was hollow brass chrome plated. We used a Visimet iridium blade for the shave, and of course before I forget, just a quick bit of alum. All those people who talk about your face burning when you get a close shave with the alum, that's actually a good thing. It's actually a really good thing. That means you got a close shave. So I've got that sting on my, below the neck, below the jaw area, on the neck area, but I don't have it at all on my cheeks. It's only right here because I, went over this area with the razor twice or thrice. And for everyone who has said, that you need to fear this razor, just don't even bother. This is an excellent razor. Probably one of the smoothest, most efficient razors I've used. I use it, today I had a 3-day growth. Sometimes I use it on a 2-day growth, sometimes even as a daily driver. If you're using it as a daily driver, probably switch up the blade a bit, use a washcord, or you can use a Gillette Platinum. But all said and done, one of the best razors ever made, according to me. You don't need to search for the aggressive one. You can actually go to, the TRC website as well. They have the R41, just pick it up. If you find a used used R41, pick that up as well. You never know. You might get lucky and get an older version, but I love this version. This is the one that I'm going to stick with. So the current one, that's the one that you need. Very quickly, let's do a quick, just going to take off a bit of that alum and then go in with the aftershave before we're done. I thought about using a different approach today as far as the aftershave is concerned. Oh, I forgot to mention the soap and that slick feel. Hags, creature lives. Really works. It works beautifully. So For the aftershave today, I'm just going to go in with something very simple. Nivea Post Shave, just like Muhle, German again. Hamburg, if I'm not mistaken. I absolutely love it. It's spiked with menthol. I'm guilty of that all the time. You don't need too much actually of it. You can probably go in with about, say, that much. Mine is, of course, activate the ingredients. Put it on. Oh, it smells like $1,000,000. And there's something strange about it. If you're a fan of menthol like me, you'll realize that, the menthol fragrance can sometimes be... I like things that smell of mint, personally. This is just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So that's it for today. I do hope that you enjoyed this shave and that you are persuaded enough or convinced enough to go out and buy the Muhle R41. If you don't already own it, go and pick it up. It is a fantastic razor. I can't help but saying it again and again, and definitely one of the best. I was on autopilot today. I mean, I take my time with the shave, but I was not cautious. I used a Wismet, which is again forgiving, but it's a very sharp blade. Absolutely no issue. Enjoyed the shave. Absolutely wonderful shave. My skin feels great, and that's one of the brilliant things about this razor. So till the next video, it's time for me to shut shop and ship out of here, but I'll be back again with you very soon with another video and probably a look this time around at a shaving soap. I did not talk enough about the Hags, but thank you once again for joining us, and from all of us at the Razor Company, bye-bye for now.